I was in a deep, deep depression in this house while the splits were happening, while the divorces were happening. Every split happened when we were living in this hash knife house.
Is it weird or different not having the help of the whole family for a move?
I just finished watching the latest episode of Sister Wives, and honestly, not much really happened. It felt like the producers were trying to stretch small events into dramatic storylines. A few family members moved houses, but even that wasn't at the same time. McKelty's move happened around July 2024, while Kody and Robyn didn't move until November, about 5 months later. Then there was the random tornado scene. Everyone was safe, thankfully, but it still felt like it was added just to create unnecessary tension. The show does this a lot, manufacturing drama over normal life events. And of course, there was the classic flat tire situation. It's almost like they can't go on a trip without someone's tire being mysteriously shredded. It's predictable at this point, almost like a running joke that isn't funny anymore. Then, as usual, the focus turned to Kody and Robyn's luxurious new house. They claimed they had to sell Coyote Pass because they needed the money for it, even admitting the home was far beyond their budget. Yet, they still went ahead and financed it because Kody apparently couldn't resist living in something opulent. The house, they bragged, has 40% more space than their last one. But when you actually look at the numbers, it doesn't add up. Their previous house was about 4,500 square feet, and the new one is 5,500. That's only 1,000 more, not exactly a massive difference. Sure, maybe the rooms are bigger, but it's not the grand jump they make it sound like. They also have a guest house that adds a bit more space, but still, it's hardly the palace they keep describing. The whole thing felt like a performance, Kody and Robyn showing off while ignoring the deeper issues tearing their family apart. What struck me most was what's happening off camera. Maddie, one of the daughters, recently spoke out on her Instagram stories, answering questions from followers. When someone asked about her dad, she didn't hold back. She talked about how it feels when your father lies about you in front of the entire world. Her words were sharp but honest. It's clear she's done trying to protect anyone's image. She even implied that lawyers and government agencies have gotten involved at times, showing how far things have spiraled. From the way she spoke, it seems obvious there's no chance Maddie will ever reconcile with Kody and Robyn. Their relationship feels completely broken, and her tone suggests deep emotional wounds. She gave advice about setting boundaries, especially for people dealing with difficult or toxic family members. She explained how it's okay to prioritize your peace, to say no, and to take time before responding. For many viewers, it sounded like she was speaking from painful personal experience. Then someone asked about Robyn, whether she had actually tried to reach out and make amends. Maddie's answer was brutally simple. Robyn is a liar. She said Robyn manipulates every situation, twisting things so that truth and lies blur together. Others who've known Robyn in the past have said the same thing, calling her emotionally manipulative, competitive, and obsessed with appearing like the victim. Even her own mother seems to defend her behavior. In the end, this episode and Maddie's comments revealed something bigger than moving houses or flat tires. The real story isn't about what we see on screen. It's about the fractured relationships, the manipulation, and the emotional fallout behind the scenes. The show may be about family, but lately, it feels more like watching the slow unraveling of one. This whole story shows just how messy and complicated these relationships have become. Robyn has always been surrounded by drama, even before Sister Wives. Long before joining the Browns, she created chaos in her own family. She reportedly went after her ex-husband Preston because he liked her younger sister, Fawn. They never dated, but Robyn couldn't stand being second best. Instead of letting things happen naturally, she pursued Preston to prove she could win his attention over her sisters. It wasn't about love, it was about power and control. Eventually, she married Preston, but the relationship fell apart, and the damage to her family remained. Later, Robyn went on national TV and accused her ex-husband of awful things, saying he stole her innocence, was abusive, and even managed to take away his parental rights. She spread those stories to her family, turning everyone against him. Whether those claims were true or not, the whole situation showed a pattern. Robyn has always wanted to control the narrative and make herself the victim. Maddie, one of Kody's daughters, recently talked about how she began to see the truth about her father and Robyn. When someone asked her what changed, she said that in 2020 she started reading parenting books and realized how unhealthy her childhood had been. Becoming a parent opened her eyes. She said that when you grow up, you often think your parents' behavior is normal, but once you start learning what healthy parenting looks like, you begin to see what was actually wrong. Maddie realized that much of what happened in her home wasn't discipline, it was emotional manipulation. She said that isolation during COVID helped her and her siblings see things more clearly. Being away from Kody and Robyn made them recognize how much control and confusion they had been living under. She also spoke about Mary, another one of Kody's wives. Maddie said that as a child, she felt Mary was extremely harsh. She believes Mary was dealing with her own emotional pain, much of which came from Kody, but that doesn't excuse her behavior. Maddie said she forgives Mary, but will never allow her near her own children. She described Mary as controlling, critical, and sometimes cruel, screaming at the kids, mocking them, and making them feel small. Other children from the family, like Michael T. and Peyton, said similar things, that Mary would never be part of their children's lives because of the emotional damage she caused. What's even more disturbing is what's been rumored about Mary's own upbringing. Her father, who was part of a polygamous group, was allegedly physically abusive. People who knew him said he hit his wives and even the students at his school, where he was a principal. Stories from that community talk about children being locked in rooms, chained to beds, and beaten as punishment. Maddie and others believe that Mary grew up in that environment and carried that trauma into her own relationships. When Maddie was asked if she'd ever reconnect with her father, she said she wasn't sure. She admitted that she didn't want to bring the chaos of Kody and Robyn back into her peaceful life. Her family now lives quietly, far away from the noise, and she likes it that way. After everything she's been through, seeing manipulation, control, and emotional abuse, she just wants peace. She's learned that sometimes, keeping your distance isn't bitterness, it's self-preservation. Maddie has reached a point where she's emotionally exhausted from constantly defending herself. She said she never agreed to a life of monogamy and is tired of being criticized for choosing a different path. Even though she still cares about her father, Kody, she admitted that his presence often brings her more anxiety than comfort. What bothers her most is knowing that several of her siblings rarely see him anymore. Watching them miss out on that relationship while he pretends everything is fine has become frustrating for her. Maddie's mom jokingly calls her the Brown family because she's the one who tries to hold things together even when it's not her responsibility. She feels the weight of everyone's emotions on her shoulders. During a Q&A online, she revealed something few fans knew. Her husband, Caleb, has been dealing with serious kidney problems. His condition has deeply affected their lives, and she explained that his kidney function is now only at about 24%. Doctors have told them that a transplant will likely be necessary in the near future. When a follower asked if she sought therapy to deal with all the emotional strain caused by Kody and the complicated family history, Maddie responded honestly. She said she's been seeing a professional therapist on and off whenever her schedule allows. Her therapist is excellent but stays busy, which makes it hard to get appointments sometimes. Still, Maddie said therapy has helped her tremendously. Growing up in such a chaotic and complex family left her with a lot to unpack, and she believes anyone from a similar background could benefit from counseling. Another fan asked how real Sister Wives actually is. Maddie said the events on the show are based on truth but filtered through each person's perspective. She explained that the producers take months of footage and condense it into just a few episodes, around 14 hours of screen time. That means the most dramatic moments get highlighted while the calmer, more ordinary ones disappear. They also add music and commentary to shape the emotional tone, asking each family member to give opinions that often sound more intense than what really happened. Maddie made it clear that when Kody and Robyn speak in those interviews, she doesn't believe a word of it. She also talked about family planning, sharing that she and Caleb decided not to have more children because of his fragile health. Earlier this year, between February and May, his condition became very serious and life-threatening. She noticed his face looked swollen, possibly from dialysis or medication side effects, and admitted she's scared about what lies ahead. Despite all this, Maddie remains strong and focused on her husband's recovery and her children's well-being. Maddie's honesty about therapy, family tension, and her husband's illness shows how far she's come in healing. She also acknowledged that her life has become much calmer without Kody and Robyn's constant drama. Although she forgives Mary for her past behavior, she's firm about keeping her distance to protect her kids from negativity. Maddie's journey proves that sometimes peace comes only when you set firm boundaries, seek help, and let go of toxic relationships. Leave a comment below, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an update.